Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. I got another little sports reaction here. Oh, God, it's baseball. Forgive me. I love baseball. I will continue to make videos on baseball. It is what it is. But is from, once again, one of my favorite YouTubers, actually. Like, I love these little, like, kind of smaller channels that put out content, and I'm just like, wow, I could just play like an entire playlist of this guy just hit record on his phone and just start talking shit. I'm like, yo, I'm with that. I love that shit. No, man, edit your videos. Shut the fuck up. All right. So this is from Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports, all that shit. The title of the video is Pete Rose, Barry Bonds, and Roger Clemens need to be in the Hall of Fame! Exclamation. So, all right, here we go.
What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, in this video, I want to talk about 3 players
I'm gonna turn his volume up
who had long and
Yes,
distinguished Major League Baseball careers, who have
I did it on my
either been
OBS.
officially
You gotta turn your shit up.
or sotto voce been barred from Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame. And I get the arguments about, I get the arguments about steroids, and I get the arguments about, cheating. But when you look at the inconsistencies when it comes to the NBA and the NFL and Major League Baseball about who and who they don't want to penalize for cheating and steroids, then it becomes kind of laughable. Because you have...
Sorry, but is that not true? Go ahead.
Well, I just want to add something. It's got nothing to do with steroids. I do agree. But also the like Basketball Hall of Fame will put anybody in the Hall of Fame. Like their criteria is not as high as the other two.
Fair enough.
That's the only thing. Like they'll put anybody in there, bro.
Fair enough. But they're
with what he's saying, yeah, that was just a side note. Yeah, I agree with what he said though. Like they choose who to penalize and who not.
Yeah, can I fangirl real quick?
Go ahead.
Bro, I just messaged PvP, my favorite catcher, and
I'm recording right now, just so you know. I don't.
Oh shit.
Fuck. If it's something you're okay with saying, then go ahead. But
no, I can't say it now. Fuck.
Okay.
Fuck, bro. Fuck.
And the judge says,
I love PvP.
And the judge says, strike that from the record.
Everybody go follow PvP on Odyssey. That's all I got to say.
There you go. But yeah, like I think baseball's like they're the most strict, right? Even with the NFL, include the NFL. I think baseball's the most strict too. Is it really?
But there's this whole everybody does steroids in fucking NFL. So there's that. Like it's not frowned upon.
In the NFL, it's
you're not missing the fucking Hall of Fame if you got suspended for steroids.
Yeah,
they don't even suspend you anymore in the NFL.
Yeah, in the NFL, it's like you're out for 4 games and then you come back or some shit like that.
It's whatever. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, NBA, it's not non-existent. I remember when Rashard Lewis got fucking popped, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't really matter. It's just like, okay.
Well, who have you heard pop after him? It's not.
Yeah. He's the only name I could think of, actually.
They probably should start taking some steroids. Because they'll stay on the fucking court longer. These fucking guys keep getting hurt.
They'd be all right with the 65-game rule, bro. Just popping the steroids. But baseball is 100% the most strict when it comes to it. Because I think it's because baseball is such a notorious cheating sport to where it's more important. I don't know. Maybe that if I had to guess, maybe that's the reason because of the sport itself is notorious for like cheating and shit like that from players. Like I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a couple things. The dipshit writers too. That if they don't like you, you're not putting you in.
Yeah.
There's also that aspect of it. Like, how the fuck did they get away with this? Or if it's a popularity contest, like Derek Jeter, was it Ken Griffey or Derek Jeter got like 100%? Like, there's no reason like Pedro shouldn't have got 100%. Just like as an example.
Yes, exactly.
There's no reason Randy Johnson shouldn't have gotten 100%.
Agreed. Yes, there are. Also,
And
as a Braves fan, Greg Maddux, like it's 100%. There's no
Greg
way around
Maddux
it.
is a
Tom
lot,
Glavine is 100% to me. Those are 100% guys. And
there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them. Fucking Mariano should have been 100%.
Mariano, oh my God, Mariano fucking Rivera.
120%.
Like he's obviously a full blown Hall of Famer, no matter what.
Chipper Jones.
Well, it's like who and these guys aren't getting 100% is kind of the point being made. Right?
I don't think Chipper Jones got inducted.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he?
Oh, he did. I don't know.
Fuck.
I don't. For some reason, I don't remember.
Neither do I.
I think he did have the numbers again.
Oh yeah, he did. He did actually, and well, okay. If I use my own criteria, then yeah. But I'm gonna save that till the end, and you're gonna go over yours too, as far as like what's your criteria for like a kind of like a Hall of Fame player. But I'm gonna let Too Raw kind of like go through his shit first.
Well, no. Well, hold up. Because to be honest, I'm not someone that has given that a lot of thought. But I wanted to ask you, Scott Rowland got into the Hall of Fame, and you were like, "Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame."
Yeah.
Can you explain the reasoning why he's a Hall of Fame?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, for me, okay, I'm just gonna say it then. I'm gonna answer it then. I kind of a little bit wanted to save it for like.
Save it. We could go back to that. It's not that big.
I mean, all right. I'll write that down.
Let's do it your way.
Scott Rowland. Because there's a reason why I would have him. There's a reason for that. But it's based on my criteria of like what I think Hall of Fame is and should be.
Yeah.
Strictly that. But I wanted to hear like Too Raw get his opinion out about it first, and then we
go
into it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
All right, here we go.
Have guys that are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. All right, when it comes to baseball, most likely Alex Rodriguez is going to get in, and that's a guy who was pretty much caught.
What do you think about that? Like, I was like,
Hell, well, first of all, like, bro, he's a fucking top 10 player of all time.
Yes,
like he should be in. Not saying like I definitely don't see that happen. He failed a drug test. Like, not even Barry Bonds did that shit, even though like the naked eye tells you like, oh, this guy clearly cheated. Like,
didn't he fail twice, or was it like?
Yes, he failed twice.
Okay.
No, he failed once, and then he got snitched on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. It was. I think it was one failed drug test, and also like just the news stories where it's like you were doing this at this point and that shit.
The investigation was so thorough. They broke down how he would not fail a test. That's how bad he got snitched on. Like, they're like, well, Alex hasn't failed a test. Like, yeah, let me explain to you how he does it.
He's got text messages fucking subpoenaed and all that shit, bro. Like, yeah, you're wrecked, bro.
Literally, like, it's literally worse than failing the test. What happened to him the second time?
Like, yeah.
His whole life got wrecked. Like,
But I think what... Good?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, I think what Too Raw's talking about, kind of, is that A-Rod is now, like, doing broadcasts for baseball on major networks. Like, it's almost like he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's still up to the writers.
Yeah.
unfortunately, like that's how it is. Even like those committees, they're not really doing much to get anybody in. Like,
There are some names that I'm going to be saying at some point here that did get in the Hall of Fame that were, let's be real, like some are circumstantial, but some are blatant evidence that they were on some shit and they're in the Hall of Fame. So guess what? It is a lot about optics and image and maybe your relationship with the media, or maybe there were bigger names that were getting exposed that maybe you didn't have to worry so much about it because these other big names were more the main target, like a Bonds or Clemens or Sosa or McGuire. P. Rose is a completely different story than this, but
yeah, P. Rose, like he put the game in question, bro.
I mean, well, if he bet on his team, I mean, I call it kind of like
well,
he said
he did, and I'm like, how do you? There's no way you can believe he did not bet on his team.
Well,
he's not a bet against his team. Like he knows. Come on, bro. He knows someone's not playing. He knows pitchers dealing with something. You tell me he's a degenerate gambler is not gonna bet?
Imagine this fool with take FanDuel back into his time period, bro.
Yo, that shit.
Where he's on his cell phone and shit.
He wouldn't just be kicked out of the league. He'd go to jail.
He's on his cell phone while watching a pitcher warm up. He's like, man, coach, my arm's really hurting today. He's like, huh. He gets on FanDuel immediately.
Bro, and there was a time where he was a player manager. He would pitch himself in. Bases loaded, 932 outs. I'm striking out already.
He's looking at over unders. He's like, huh.
I'm making $100,000 on this strikeout rate. Literally, his coach salary for the year on one game. He's gonna make.
Oh fuck, that's fucking hilarious. But we'll get into more of the Hall of Fame qualifications later. It's just come on, we cannot deny that cheating happens, especially with the sport of baseball. I've been a fan my entire life. I'm telling you, maybe the biggest cheating sport ever. Boxing's probably close.
Yeah,
and cycling.
It's crazy. Like how the fuck you take amphetamines and you're gonna pass judgment on someone that took steroids? As I did it clean. Like motherfucker, you were taking 3 or 4 of them a game, bro, just to stay up to be in a certain activity level.
If you mean greenies, I think that. Man, I think that's way different than I'm transforming my body into the Hulk, into the fucking Hulk. I think that's way different. But it's still it's a performance enhancement. Yeah, it's normal. It's normalized cheating, 100%. 100% it is. But it walks a fine line compared to fucking look at the size of Roger Clemens right here. It's different. It's much different. It's those plus adding pounds of muscle on.
You were having that discussion with James about Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Roger Clemens, where it's it's the longevity factor where all things aside, you touch ball gets obliterated. That's one aspect. But it's also the recuperation aspect of it, and being able to stay at a certain energy level over the long season, over and over again. Roger Clemens pitched all those fucking World Series. I mean, all those playoff runs with the Yankees, and he was still a horse.
Yes. In baseball terms, that's what we call it. They're horse. They're thoroughbreds, bro. These motherfuckers are. They can actually hold up a lot of a team. Even though baseball is a little bit less individualized than something like basketball, right, where a guy can just score 50 points. In baseball, it's more of a roundabout way, to where it's it's not direct. It's more based on what you're doing, averaged out, statistically, averaged out. It's dude, you're having such a major impact on your team just by being out there and playing the way you play. And a guy
And
like
it's
Roger Clemens, like, good God.
and it's two pronged because it's also your availability at a certain like talent level is necessary during a long series, a long season where
Yes.
where you can stop the momentum going against your team, or you can
Yes.
reignite the momentum, especially for a pitcher like Roger Clemens, where it's like no matter how the team's going, like nah, you're getting a win today to stop the bleeding because it happens a lot throughout a season.
Yes.
The peaks and these pitchers like Kurt Schilling, fucking Randy Johnson, Pedro, those kind of pitchers, they would stop momentum like shifting in the negative most nights. Most times they
Yes.
pitch if a team really needed a win and they had their number one guy up, that shit can lift up the whole team.
Yes. And the season's so fucking long. It all of it matters because the season's so fucking long that games that maybe you were losing in April are affecting your fucking October or or
Yes.
September. Like as far as your standings and then who you end up playing in the playoffs, if you get to the playoffs, whether or not you're in the playoffs, on and so forth, man. But I think that's if you're a baseball guy, that's where like it's like a long chess game instead of like an instant gratification thing. Really instantly like gratify, like, oh, okay, Embiid scored 50 points this game and won the game, and there's 20 games left, and like fuck, you can visually see in the standings how important that game was. In baseball, it's such a long, drawn out fucking battle that things in spring are not like you're not seeing how they're affecting something in September or October. Like it's just a long season, so it makes it harder for fans to see that. It isn't just down to the last week, just like any other sport, right? It's important way
Yeah,
early throughout the entire thing. God.
I think you do see it a little bit in hockey and basketball, but it's in baseball. It's kind of like atypical of you can start slow and then pick it up, or you can start really hot and then like steam out towards the end of the season.
Yes.
And then like so, yeah, you have individuals that can steer you or derail you throughout the season.
Yep. Because
Injuries.
Roger Clemens sucking on Tuesday can fuck your bullpen for the rest of the week. If they could. Like that's what I think a lot of fans, a lot of sports fans who aren't into baseball like that, they miss out on things like that. Like, hey man, this guy fucking up over here can fuck your whole week up because he couldn't go more than 4 innings.
Yeah.
And that's why a horse like fucking Clemens was, like, or Schilling or Johnson or Pedro, like these horses that's why they're so fucking important. The analytics becomes ×2. If you're a stat follower, right? Analytics in baseball, like that's fucking Moneyball, isn't it?
Yeah.
To see how things translate over a long period of time, to where something that happens in April affects your shit in September, type of thing.
That's all. I don't even want to touch Moneyball because that's like a whole nother debate.
Fair enough.
I don't even. Yeah, I have so many thoughts on that. But anyway, no, but yeah. So like, and that's why my argument was that I was trying to proclaim to him is the longevity factor of, oh, you're gonna get 180 to 220 innings from this guy every year, and they're gonna be quality starts most times in the
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of the season. And then that's how you get 350 wins or whatever he got, 330, 350 wins, which you can't get out of a player now. You can't get 250 consistently out of these pitchers now.
Yeah, they figured out the algorithm to where they'll have bullpen guys come in the 6th fucking inning or 7th fucking inning and then shut everything down from there because they all have their 99 miles an hour and shit, or their attempt to do that. Yeah.
And you got the dumbest hitter known to man playing nowadays.
But he might hit a home run though, so thus it's worthy for that one chance. It's basically sports gambling what GMs are now doing. Basically
I'm sorry, and it goes back to fucking analytics, but yeah, like I said, that's not what we're here.
Yeah. All right, let's continue. Too raw. Here we go.
Twice used the steroids. And I guarantee you, Alex Rodriguez gets in. So why is it that Alex Rodriguez gets in, but other guys don't get in? Okay. There are some very popular players throughout Major League Baseball history, recent history. They're likely going to get in because, number one, of postseason success. Number two, they were very likable people. And they had a very good rapport with the media. And they're going to get in.
I was wondering, like, the way he's saying that, if he's a baseball fan, like David Ortiz, 100%. I'd be like, yo, yeah, Big Papi. As much as I love him as a player, like, it was fun watching this guy fucking do these things, man. It was fun. But so was Manny. But Manny's going to get asked out, and David Ortiz is going to be allowed in. Or he is in, right? I think David Ortiz is in the fucking Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, he is in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
But Manny's the better player. And he had no shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
I agree. But, I mean, Papi was fucking awesome in that little time period. He's fucking awesome. But Manny is 100% better.
He had longevity, too, which goes back to the theory I got. Fucking it's like I used to listen to fuckboy Michael K. And he's like, "No, this isn't the new baseball. This isn't the old baseball anymore. You can't have 38-year-olds hitting 330 with 48 home runs and shit." I'm like, yeah, that's that was how the times worked, man. These guys are fucking putting crazy numbers up.
Yeah, and people don't know about that.
What happened?
People don't know about David Ortiz. Like, I think if a random normie fucking baseball fan listen to this, like, what? David Ortiz has never been caught with this or that. It's like
he failed the same test.
Exactly.
In 2001, somehow that just got erased. Like, how the fuck did he get in?
Exactly. He was like, they were supposed to be anonymous names. I think like a list, like the list or something, like with the Mitchell Report thing, right?
They were anonymous, but A-Rod's name was made.
Yes.
Apparently, him and Manny failed. That only fucking.
But no one wants to look at Papi that way. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, so it's like, hey, baseball fans, be fucking consistent if you're gonna because I know Papi is one of your favorite TV personalities, or like, oh, it's just like they actually give him like the Manny being Manny thing. It's Papi being Papi. They kind of do that with David Ortiz, and it's like,
yo, did you know? That guy that had me thinking too, bro. Did you know that like Frank Thomas was like promoting like testosterone?
Eugenics, that shit.
Eugenics, yeah.
Yeah, I did. Like,
I'm like, that's fucking tone death. Yo, how is this guy promoting this? I think he's in the Hall of Fame, right? Is he?
He's gotta be. He's gotta be. Right?
He's deserving of it.
Well, we'll get into our criteria for that, but at the same time, like, yeah, him at like the him like he walks up to a random dude at gym, or he walks up to a fucking Doug Flutie, and he's like, hey man, how are you so strong still? Well, I have this thing called Eugenics. Like, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Sounds like some Elon shit.
And those are like mainstream TV commercials. Like, Like I was watching like I think like the NBA or some shit at my mom's house, right? And it basically plays cable, basically, but it's not cable, it's streaming or NBA or TNT app or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, these fucking commercials, man, like holy shit, like like kind of openly, but it's okay because he's old and he's retired. It's all good for Frank Thomas to
Yeah, I
still
don't
look
know
like
how
a
that.
savage
Yeah, I don't know
50
how
years
that.
old. It's fucking crazy, man. But yeah, David Ortiz, for what he was just saying right there, I assume he's talking about David Ortiz, but I don't know if he is or not. But that sounds like David Ortiz, basically. All right, here we go.
Again, despite the fact that there is some evidence to link them to PED usage.
I think he's talking about David
Not
Ortiz.
going to name any names,
He's
but
talking
there are
about
some
David
guys.
Ortiz, 100%.
All right, and I like them. A lot of these dudes I like, and I want to get in the hall personally. But as a as an amateur journalist, you kind of have to question why these guys are getting in, but these guys, they'll be forever barred. Then it comes to the other
Leave Poppy
the other
alone.
argument is
Shut
why
up.
is it you have a lot of borderline guys getting in, but these guys I'm naming are three of the
Yeah.
titans. I mean, three of the greatest,
Yeah, they're a
absolute
lot.
greatest
Yeah.
players, and they're not going to get in for whatever reason. First guy is Roger Clemens, of course, because Roger Clemens has been linked to PED usage.
Yeah.
Okay, but my argument is you have guys that are in the Hall of Fame right now recently. Recent guys have gotten into the Hall who have at least some connection to PED usage. Then the thing that really pushed me over the edge is this recent cheating scandal. Now, you have this scandal
Oh, at Houston?
where it's been proven that
I think he's talking
the
about
Houston Astros
Yeah.
and the Boston Red Sox, on some level, the Texans a much higher level,
He said Texas by
literally
accident.
cheated. Okay, they cheated
Big time.
in two different runs toward a World Series.
I think it was back-to-back
Oh.
years.
Oh, I mean, when I say this about, like, I know people don't care about baseball like that, but when I say, like, this is the biggest cheating sport next to it's ahead of boxing to me. Baseball is number one, like, as far as, like, cheaters go. It's over boxing, it's over cyclers. Or was it cycling or whatever? The Lance Armstrong shit, bro. It's over them, bro. Baseball is anything that we can do to get away with things type of shit, bro. It's like part of the game itself. It's built into the game. It's, hey, can I get away with this substance on my fucking wrist in the middle of a fucking playoff game? Can I do that? It's baseball. They're like crafty cheaters. Well, sometimes they suck at cheating. Other times they're just a lot of crafty cheating. Even look at like a fucking golden boy like Derek Jeter, right? I remember watching a game where he clearly didn't get hit by a pitch, but he is acting his ass off. He's essentially flopping.
Yeah.
And they gave him first base. I think the Yankees probably won that game. It was against Tampa Bay. I don't know if it was a playoff game or regular season or an important regular season game or whatever, but he got away with that shit. I'm like, that's part of the game is cheating, bro. I'm telling you. I'm fucking telling you. It is the biggest cheating sport in sports history. So, yeah, I'm not like something like the fucking bang on trash can motherfuckers, and also Boston accused of this too. Like, yeah, it actually fit the bill. It fit. And are there going to be Hall of Famers coming from that? Possibly, because
Altuve, yeah.
Well, it's like, well, I think to Raw's point, it's about like
Full season success.
Well, no, because Clemens had so much fucking success, right? It's more about the type of, they made a big deal about the steroid thing, which is clearly that's like 100% cheating, right? But it's so much about that thing to where when dudes bang on trash cans to tell you what pitch is fucking coming, still pales in comparison to Roger Clemens doing better fucking better lifts, better squats, and better fucking bench press, bro.
Yeah.
Like this thing was like the juggernaut, and they took names and they put them as the faces of these things. 100%. And that's Clemens, Bonds,
Sosa,
McGuire. They became faces of these things. Palmeiro.
Yeah.
And because
Canseco.
Canseco, yes, trying to like sweep the idea of cheating in baseball to these things is crazy to me. Which will go into what I consider Hall of Fame, right? But I'm just saying, like, these names are, yes, they're cheating, but you're also kind of throwing them under the bus at the same time, compared to like what the sport of baseball has been for years and years and years. Like people talk about Sammy Sosa and steroids, but they don't talk about Sammy Sosa and corked bat. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Like, God, good fucking God.
He got caught twice, right? With a corked bat.
I don't know about twice, but I know it was a random game. I remember watching this shit as a kid. Yeah, his back broke, and people were like, what's in your barrel right here? And first of all, the bat splitting like that, in that weird way like that, is also questionable as far as like what physical things are you using in regards to the sport. But yeah, the cork bat thing, like, come on, man, come on, like, yeah, you catch Clemens for fucking steroids, but did he have substances on him or some shit like that? It's very possible too.
Yeah.
Baseball's such a fucking cheating sport, man. It is what it is, man. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to break baseball fans' hearts, but it is what it is, man. But okay, let's get to play just a little bit more, and then we'll go into the bigger question of this. Here we go.
There's been much talk about Major League Baseball taking away that championship from 2017 from them. They're not going to do that. Now, while they did fire the general manager
and find them and all that shit,
manager of the club, but the players will remain unscathed with their championships. Meanwhile, you have guys who have been barred from baseball for doing kind of less. I mean, literally, if this was 100 years ago, I think most of the players from Houston Texans would have been barred. If this was Tennessee Mountain Landis' league, all right, instead of Rob Manfredi, whatever his name is,
Manfredi.
I think that those players would have been barred.
Fucking sport.
So there is a lot of inconsistency. But the first guy I think that should get in is Roger Clemens. Now, he's been like around in the lower 60 percentile when it comes to votes. But time is running out for him.
Yeah.
As far as him ever getting in on the ballot, I don't really see a huge surge for him. You never know.
And it kind of only goes backwards.
The one good thing he has going for him, the only good thing he has going for him is recent events. Recent events, and then there might be a sense of urgency when you start seeing, okay, this guy's on the last ballot. All right? This guy's on the last ballot coming up soon.
True.
Do we really want to do this to this guy? Then, I don't want to be morbid, but a lot of people who feel very strongly about steroids, some of these guys might be passing away that they're voting, or they're just retiring, and they're being replaced by a younger generation who might be a little bit more objective in this situation. They might have a different viewpoint about it. We don't know. All I know is this about Roger Clemens. From the mid-1980s into the mid-1990s, he was arguably the best pitcher in baseball. All right?
Yeah.
The most consistent.
Sure.
Later on, of course, you had guys like Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, of course, the flamethrower Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez.
True.
You know, I did watch baseball from the 90s into 2000s, so that's my little sweet spot. But Roger Clemens was the dude, man. He was the best pitcher in baseball, and arguably the best pitcher in baseball in the last 30 to 40 years. It's a good argument for him, a great argument, actually.
On average, in extended period of time.
24 seasons. He was an 11-time All-Star. Twice he was on a World Series champion team with the Yankees back in 1999 and 2000.
Yep.
He won a record 7 Cy Young Awards.
Yeah.
He was a 1986 American League MVP.
And Barry Bonds has a record.
That's the same year he threw for in a Major League record 20 strikeouts a game, which I think has only been tied twice by Kerry Wood and Randy Johnson, if I'm not mistaken.
Did Randy have
Twice
that? Randy
he
had
won
20 strikeout
the
game?
Triple Crown in pitching,
Oh,
which is
so.
I know
simultaneously
Kerry Wood did. I
leading
remember that.
the league in wins, strikeouts, and earned run average. 7 times he's led the Major League Baseball, I believe it is, or at least the American League, in earned run average. 5 times I think he actually led the major leagues in earned run average. 5 times he led the American League in strikeouts. 4 times he led Major League Baseball in wins. And he's on the Major League Baseball All-Century team. All right, so this guy, and I think he's 3rd all-time in strikeouts behind only, I believe, Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson. This guy should be in the fucking Hall of Fame, man. I mean, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. And for him not to be in the Hall of Fame is a disgrace, in my opinion.
Okay. So he went out, he said his stats and all that shit and his accomplishments. And he also pointed out the kind of hypocrisy of it, where guys are going to get in that have been either blatantly caught or kind of like, circumstantial evidence caught with steroids, and they're going to be in the Hall of Fame or already in it, right?
Yeah. Well, we got a couple of Ortiz, Jeff Bagwell, Mike Piazza.
Yes.
There's been rumors about all of them.
Yes.
Ivan Rodriguez. I don't think
Pudge
did he
too?
get in?
Yeah. I think Pudge got in, right? And
I'm not sure.
There's been questions about him.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he got in.
Oh man. Well, let me say this. I'm gonna stop the video there. I'm so happy he's talking about he talked about baseball and knows a semblance of it.
He knows enough for respect.
Unlike, I think, most fucking weirdos on the internet don't really know as much. But whatever, right? He's just going up based on like him living through it, shit like that. And this is what I'm going off of. Same thing for me. Like, this is what I lived through, and this is the conclusion I came to as far as Hall of Fame goes, right? Because you brought up Scott Rowland, right, getting in. For me, at this point, if we're talking about cheating in I think it's gonna be a hot take, man. Based on how much cheating I'm aware of in the game of baseball, it's almost like you can't use that as a reason for or against something in regards to the Hall of Fame, because every era is littered with something. I'm sorry, they are. And for me personally, I look at it more as like, I know it has some sort of significance for their personal well-being, financially and all that shit. But at the same time, I would take it more as like something that should be like a museum type of thing. Some sort of historical fucking reference to a time period. And if you dominated a fucking time period and your name's relevant in that time period, I think you are worthy. So a guy like Scott Rowland, for me, he's not the greatest, right, player ever. But as far as a time period, is he very relevant? Yes, he is. 100%. 100% Scott Rowland's very relevant in the time periods he played in. A guy like Roger Clemens is more relevant. So is Bonds. More relevant. Ty Cobb in his years are relevant. Now would sports writers give him a fucking pass? Like if you took Ty Cobb, take all his sayings, right, and put them in today's time period, would they be like, yeah, Ty Cobb? Like, no, they wouldn't. Not a fucking chance, based on some of the racial shit this guy has allegedly been involved with, as far as his statements and beliefs. So, yeah, for me, it's about, did you dominate a time period to where you're so significant in that time period? Like, yeah, these guys did. Now, do I point out maybe they were on some shit, or maybe they cheated, or what? Yes, I do that too. I put that on their fucking plaque. Congratulations, Roger Clemens. You're in the fucking Hall of Fame. But guess what? At the bottom of your fucking little statue thing, it'll say, well, this guy got caught cheating, like taking steroids and cheating. Other guys won't have that. I think that's like kind of your penalty. Like, you're in the Hall of Fame as being a notable player in Major League Baseball history, but you're not. But we're not gonna forget about your mistakes either. That's where I stand in regards to that. Do you have like maybe a standard or something like that for Hall of Fame, or?
Well, no, it's like I said, I didn't give it much thought, but it's like I used to go by like, oh, you gotta have the hallmarks, 3,000 hits,
Yeah,
500 home runs, or whatever. But like you said, like a guy like Andrew Jones doesn't have those numbers, but is he a Hall of Famer? You'd say yes, because
I would. Yeah.
There's the it's like the basketball shit. There's the argument of longevity and kind of like number compiling.
Yeah.
And then there's the argument of you were a savage when you were at your peak and nobody could fuck with you at this peak.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so like in that regard, like a guy like Chipper Jones, guy like Roy Halladay is a Hall of Famer under any metric, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah,
Pedro only had like 211 wins, but it's like, is this guy Hall of Famer? You'd say yes.
100%. Yes, he is.
This guy's a Hall of Famer. So that's where, like, that's where the numbers get funky. It's another one. Another one would be like, what's his name? Mattingly. Like, he's borderline, but he was the best player in the 80s. And he doesn't
dominating an era? Yeah, give me that shit.
Yeah, and he doesn't, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Kurt Schilling? Like,
Kurt Schilling's not in the Hall of Fame for other reasons.
Exactly. No, exactly. Exactly.
He played the game the right way. He was a good teammate. Anything on the field, Kurt Schilling is a Hall of Famer, but they won't give it to him because he has extremist views.
But he fucking dominated for like a period of time, and like not just that, but like dominating. Like he's like clutch too.
And then you look at a guy like Kirby Puckett. Mm-hmm. He's in the Hall of Fame, and he didn't fucking play long, but his impact was felt in the 90s.
And it's like
he was a little tank.
We should give sports writers like a fucking test. Like, here, hit this 81-mile-an-hour fastball, 81 down the middle. Hit this, and then show me you can vote for these things. Otherwise, shut the fuck up. It kind of like it's that little argument that'll be here for eternity of sports journalism versus sports itself. And it'll be the players versus the analytics, or the players versus the stats, or perceptions by the audience versus the players, and like people who like actually do the athletic feats that they're like that fans or sports writers are actually observing, and it's like it seems like it'll just always be there, and you gotta like if fans or reporters do some attempt to understand how difficult it is to do what these guys are doing. Even with steroids, I look so down on fucking steroids. I look very down on it because like, bro, there could be some dude who's like super intelligent, but like if he got that boost from steroids, he put fucking 50 pounds of muscle on, he'd be a different, probably be a Hall of Famer or
there's a guy coming up, and he's borderline. And I want to ask you, what do you think, Dustin Pedroia?
Dustin Pedroia?
They're saying he's borderline.
I think he's a Hall of Famer for me personally. But you know, my rubric's gonna be different than like oh my god, the Hall of Fame. Like I'm different than that, man. Like I look at a guy who plays a role in regards to winning, and obviously he put up stats too, right? He'd be like near the top of the league and fucking hitting and all that shit, and he'd play hard and he'd play hard defense without being like the most freakish athlete on the fucking field, right? He'd play his heart out type of guy, or Euclid, like you play your heart out type of guy. Like I love that shit, and these guys were playing at the highest level in a time period in a decently long amount of time. I'm like, I have to give them credit for that, man. I can't just take that shit away. But then I understand fans that'll look at what I'm saying and be like, oh, you're kind of watering down what Hall of Fame means, because Hall of Fame is supposed to be like all time fucking greats, right?
Yeah.
But the way baseball is, man, these guys, the way baseball has worked in my lifetime, I think the rubric's different than you could just look at Kobe scoring 3,200 points or 32,000 points or some shit like that, 31,000 points, whatever the fuck he scored, right? It's a different rubric to just use numbers like that. You have to watch the guy.
I don't know if it's a societal thing, if it's the salaries players have, but players aren't staying in the league long enough to do these kind of things. You know what I mean? Like you're saying, the Kobe thing.
Yeah.
Like he scored these amount of like players aren't trying to stick around and get 3,000 hits. They're not trying to stick around to do like So in a way, it has changed. What are you gonna do with these pitchers? None of these pitchers are getting 250 wins, let alone 300. So how are you gonna start electing these pitchers in? You're telling me Jacob deGrom's not a Hall of Famer?
They're gonna find ways. I don't know. They're gonna find ways to put him in. If I had to guess, they may even use these guys as piggybacks, bro. Guys like Clemens and Bonds and those like oh well, these guys they got clean, and now this is the clean version. Like this is what's possible when you're clean. They'll bring up like the NBA fucking nerd stat guys. Oh, the pace of play. This is why this is like this and this is like that. They're gonna do that with baseball, if I had to guess. So a guy like DeGrom would get in, but only off the backs of a Roger Clemens, where it's like, well, the only reason his numbers are like this is because of steroids, and they're just comparing numbers when they're like, hey man, watch the players play. And once again, my definition of Hall of Famer, it's like, were you great in your own era you played in? Like that's worthy enough for me to be in this little museum we call the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to work out the way I view it.
Like even Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander's got 257 wins with a 3.20 ERA.
He's for sure a Hall of Famer, though. They're going to put him at the Hall of Fame.
No, 100%. I know. I would say he's a.
Yeah, me too.
And Roger Clemens is 354 with 312. What's Roy Halladay's career ERA, bro? Oh, it's actually pretty high.
High threes?
No, not high threes. 338.
Okay.
338. It's lower than Verlander's.
Yeah.
Verlander's pitched longer.
But the question is becoming about to fucking to Raw's point. The question is about steroids or not. Meanwhile, like there is other cheating happening in baseball that
there is
where there's guys that are gonna like
these guys did a whole league wide checking of pitchers' fingers after every fucking inning.
Yeah. Well, let me ask this. Is Altuve gonna be like a 3,000 hit guy? I know he gets a lot of hits, right?
Jose Altuve, he's got 2,047 hits. I don't think so. I don't think he's getting there.
How old is he? 30 something.
He's 30. What? He's 33.
He'd have to put up some.
He just signed a 5-year. They're saying this is like his last contract too. He signed a 5-year deal.
5 years of 2,000.
He's slowing down,
hits.
bro. He slowed down, bro. He had a 1, 2, 3, 4-year stretch where he was getting 200 hits. He's been in the mid 150s, 160s since, and he's been hurt. He's been hurt too.
And I mean,
yeah, he was on a pace to get 3,000, but he slowed down.
Okay.
He was well on his way, but it was still like a long road.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my perspective about the Hall of Fame and what the credentials are for me, which is it kind of takes away from the mystique of it and the majestic nature of the fucking thing, but I think it holds up to be fair for anyone dominating an era of baseball, right? Like, it's hard to take away from what Roger Clemens or Barry Bonds or Pete Rose is a different story, a different type of cheating. It's like after retirement type of thing, and you're a manager. But him as a player is obviously a Hall of Famer, obviously. But guys like Clemens and Bonds and McGuire and Sosa, I understand being hesitant towards it, but you're not going to wipe out, like as much as these sports writers might want to do, you're not going to be able to wipe out these things that happened right in front of our fucking eyes, man. So, yeah, give it a fucking quote-unquote asterisk or whatever. Give it that, but don't deny these guys that they're not some of the biggest names in baseball fucking history. Do not deny that. So that's where I'm at.
They were the best generation of baseball as far as numbers are concerned.
Yeah,
that was the best era of baseball. Fucking mid '90s to 2006, 2007.
Yeah, agreed.
That was baseball's golden era.
Mm-hmm.
Performance, golden era. This dude Sammy Sosa hit 158 and 160 RBIs in one season, bro. That's a 64, 160 with a 328 on a batting average, bro. That's one of the greatest seasons in baseball history. Ever.
It's freaky.
He had an 1100 OPS in 2001. That's Bonds territory.
Well, Bonds was like, "You motherfuckers aren't as good as me. Let me take let me take some shit and show you how it's done."
Yeah,
and he just smushed all of them.
And Sammy's the only one even close.
Mm-hmm. So,
well, they say Mickey Mantle. Like Mickey Mantle has some, as far as OPS is concerned, he had some great years too.
Well, here's the thing. Mickey Mantle was brought up in regards. No. Well, the era, sure, but also Mickey Mantle was brought up in regards to horse fucking steroids, man. I didn't know that. The Mitchell guy, I'm pretty sure, brought that up on a random interview. I don't think he's ever said it again. He's on like Colbert Report, I think.
Yeah.
And he brought up fucking Mickey Mantle in regards to horse steroids, which is super dangerous. I would expect compared to like, Balco fucking industry lab technicians making some sort of chemical for you. But still, maybe it gets you a bit stronger to be able to do this or do that.
I bet it did, yeah.
But baseball's just riddled with fucking cheating, man. So, I mostly agree with Raw about this. Of yo, man, just let him in the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Fame, as far as what we name it, for me personally, as far as the way we look at it, completely changes. If we're gonna have Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds in there, I'm like, okay, it's not really like some sort of moment of glory. It's more of you dominated a fucking era, and here's your portion of the era. Like, here's what you did in that era. I'm okay with that. As far as the GOATs of baseball, if you fucking cheat, fuck you. I'm not gonna put you in there ever. That's me personally. Like, I'm not gonna put you up next to whoever the greats are.
Hank Aaron.
Yeah, if you've been cheating your ass off. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Any last comments? Good.
Who would, just real quick though, like, all right, we're taking all the steroid guys out. Who you put in next? I'm assuming Hank Aaron and Albert Pujols are
great. Yeah.
Are in there. Who else is in there?
Griffey.
Okay.
Wait. As far as hitters go?
Yeah, as far as hitters are concerned. Like Greg Maddux for sure is a top 5 pitcher of all time.
Yeah.
Top 4.
As far
Pedro.
Yeah. Pedro.
Maybe Nolan Ryan. I think Nolan Ryan.
Yes.
Is Nolan Ryan a little overrated? Randy Johnson.
We had a fastball before people had like fastballs like that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of the reason, but it's still dominance of an era.
Actually, nah, man. His ERA is Nolan Ryan's ERA is really good. 3.19. It's almost as good as Clemens.
He was like Clemens, kinda. He's like a power pitcher.
Yeah, he was. He was Clemens' idol.
Yeah. But there's plenty of players that I think, if you got rid of the obviously known steroid users versus people that either we don't know or we're sure didn't, I still think there's a large amount of players that would make the Hall of Fame if we did it by that criteria. In my opinion, like Todd Helton's a fucking like amazing, like as far as a time period where he's like just doing what he does, like good God, he's 100% there, and he's not even considered like right with these other fucking big names, right? Is he considered with McGuire and yeah?
No, it's because of where he played.
Yeah. Sure. But I think there's plenty of names that could be brought up. Not that I want these guys out of the Hall of Fame. It's just like there are guys you can bring up that put up some gaudy fucking numbers in these fucking time periods. I don't know if they're on roids or not, but as far as we understand, maybe they aren't, type of thing. And it's like a guy hitting fucking 330 or some shit like that with 30 to 40 something home runs and a shit ton of RBIs. It's like, well, give him Bonds' body. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. He hit 140 RBIs 2 years in a row. He hit 372 in 2000 with 42 home runs, 147.
That's crazy.
RBIs.
That's crazy.
And he didn't win the MVP.
Yeah.
He was 5th.
He's 5th place.
Guess Jason Giambi won the fucking MVP. Oh no, Jeff Kent won the MVP. He beat out Bonds, Piazza, Jim Edmonds, and Todd Helton.
probably winning thing involved with that.
He had 33 home runs, 125. Or how the fuck he win this MVP?
By winning, right? Was the team better?
His teammate Bonds had 49 home runs with 106 RBI. He had less RBIs. He had a higher OPS than him. But Helton had the highest OPS of the year, and he was fifth.
I'd have to see.
Helton led the league in hits. Kent was close though. Kent was close. I guess Kent was at the top of the lineup. He had more at bats.
I'd have to see the context of it. What was he doing? Did it contribute to winning? All these things, and also understand like where the sports writers maybe are coming from when they vote for these.
Yeah,
we're letting sports writers
the
like
most
fucking
valuable player.
pick
to
these
their
things.
team.
It's crazy, but
I know for sure the Rockies weren't winning.
yeah, they weren't. Yeah, there's that little time period of hitters and shit like that. Their hitting numbers are fucking nuts.
I don't think Jeff Kent's in the Hall of Fame, bro.
If he isn't, he will be. He's gotta be, right? If he isn't in there yet, he will be in there. That's kind of crazy. He's
not in the Hall of Fame.
That's crazy.
The highest he's ever gotten was 46.5% because he's not a well-liked guy.
Yeah. To Ross' point about the media.
And he has no connection to steroids.
Yeah. Even beef with fucking Bonds, right? When they played together. They were beefing a bit.
Yeah. He's off the ballot. He can no longer be voted
in. Bro. Okay. Look at that.
And he's like he's got the most home runs for a set. Well, Cano who gives a fuck about Cano? He's done.
Yeah, well, he's
even
also
though he
pop.
should be into.
Another
but
pop
he failed.
In the modern era, another pop player. Man. But yeah, these guys are undeniably fucking talented, and they played a significant role in a large period of time. Jeff Kent is, in my opinion, way more than Robbie Cano as far as significance in a fucking time period.
Yeah.
As far as my little Hall of Fame credentials you need. Yeah.
But I would say the same for Altuve.
Yeah.
Altuve's compared to Cano, Altuve's a fucking born leader.
Yeah, I agree.
He's about to tie Manny Ramirez for the most home runs in the playoffs.
Which means he's in the playoffs a lot.
Yes.
And hits home runs while he's there. So it's like crazy. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. And worthwhile looking at. But all right. Let's end this fucking video. Anything else you want to add to any of this? Kind of went through a lot.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Yeah. All right, there's our reaction to some of Too Raw for TV's video about the Hall of Fame and who should get in, who shouldn't, and baseball stats and all that shit. All right. Peace out.